Raya and the Last Dragon, 9 crazy, frozen Easter eggs you must see. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Flixorama. The strikingly animated Raya and the Last Dragon introduces Disney's first Southeast Asian princess, the fantasy world of Kamandra and its magical water dragons. Interestingly, hidden in the movie are many references, Easter eggs, and similarities to Disney's previous animated hit movie, Frozen. In this video, we shall be exposing all the secret connections, intriguing details, and parallels between Raya, Sisu, and Disney's Ice Queen, Elsa. Dun dun dun! Are you ready to dive in? Well, remember there will be tons of spoilers, so if you haven't watched either of the two films, you've been warned. Today we're going to be talking about Raya and the Last Dragon and 9 crazy frozen Easter eggs you must see. Make sure you stay until number 1 since we have saved the best ones for the end. Number 9. The Shipwreck Encounter. It's interesting how pivotal moments in both Raya and the Last Dragon and Frozen ensue when the main characters encounter the remains of shipwreck. Raya comes across the ruins of a boat after her search for the river's end, where legend says that Sisu is sleeping. While in the ship, as Raya summons Sisu, the water in the stream reverses direction. Large drops float into the air and combine to transform into the legendary water dragon. This is suggestive of Frozen, where Elsa conjured water that was embedded in the hull of the wreck to create an ice sculpture which held the memories of the last moments of her parents. Further, Raya's comment when she sees the ship, 6 years of searching and we end up at a literal shipwreck, feels like a wink to Frozen fans about their 6-year wait between the first and the second movie for the reveal about the truth of what really happened to Elsa and Anna's parents, King Agnar and Queen Iduna. Number 8. The Water Factor. Another stimulating similarity between both films is the importance of water to the final resolution. In Raya and the Last Dragon, the rain liberates everyone from their stony fate, whereas in Frozen, when the dam breaks, the resulting tsunami almost destroys Arendelle until Elsa arrives in the nick of time to stop it. Water is a hugely significant motif in Raya and the Last Dragon, as is the only element other than the dragon gem which can ward off the Droon. Tellingly, Raya is even called Dewdrop by her father Benja, who adds, "They're repelled to water." Sisu is also a water dragon, and her design, as well as her siblings, was inspired by the Southeast Asian Naga. Mythically divine or semi-divine beings, the Naga are often more serpentine in appearance than the European dragon style depicted in Disney movies. They're associated with Mekong River, which was the inspiration for the dragon-shaped river that runs through and connects all of Kamandra's 5 kingdoms. There's a curious parallel between Sisu and Frozen's elemental water spirit, the Knock, which is based on Scandinavian mythology. In the original folklore, the Knock has the ability to shapeshift and turn into a man or woman, much like Sisu does in Raya and the Last Dragon, and, as always, the Frozen fandom has been quick to catch on to these similarities, swapping out an image of Knock for Sisu in the scene after Elsa stops the flood. Number 7. Similarities between Sisu and Elsa. Countless Disney enthusiasts also notice a stirring visual and somewhat eerie similarity between Sisu and Elsa, in particular Sisu's face, which has extra large and expressive eyes, and I think they're cute. Keep in mind though, it's interesting as the version of Sisu in the movie has some notable differences from the original concept art of the dragon, which had smaller eyes, sharper teeth, and fangs. Sisu is also predominantly blue in the movie, with only touches of purple. In the initial designs, however, she had a lot more purple and some white colors. This dominant blue coloring on Sisu makes the magical dragon more suggestive of Elsa, whose signature color is blue. Numerous fans are so convinced of the visual similarities between the two that they jokingly suggest Elsa got bored of being the 5th spirit after a few years and decided to become a dragon. Of course, both Sisu and Elsa's abilities are water-based, so naturally the color blue fits them both well too, and I'll be talking more about the water dragons in the film shortly. Number 6. The 5th Spirit Factor. In Raya and the Last Dragon, we learned that years ago the world came under attack from the Droon, amorphous and destructive spirits who turn both people and dragons into stone. 4 of the only 5 surviving dragons decided to combine their powers and magic into a dragon gem, which they entrusted to their sibling Sisu, the 5th dragon, who then used the power of the gem to defeat the plague of the Droon. Similarly, in Frozen, it's the 5th spirit Elsa, who together with Anna breaks the curse of the Enchanted Forest and saves Arendelle from destruction. In both movies, there are 5 magical elements. In Raya, each of the 5 dragons has a distinct power. This is my little sister Amba's magic. I got the glow. That's Prani. She's a shapeshifter. Fog? That was my brother Jagan's magic. And Pengu, he's our big brother. He brings the rain. I am a really strong swimmer, says Sisu in the movie. While in Frozen, there are 5 spirits: Gale, the wind element; Bruni, the fire spirit; the earth giant; the Nock water spirit; and Elsa, the 5th spirit. This importance is underlined in Raya and the Last Dragon in every opening shot of the movie, with the picture of a stone structure with 5 curved supports holding up the top. One of these is broken, signaling either how the world is broken or perhaps pointing to the missing 5th dragon Sisu, who Raya is searching for. Additionally, there are 5 stone balls, with the other 4 smaller ones on the outside representing the 4 dragons who gave their powers to create the dragon gem, which is represented by the largest ball in the center. And of course, there are 5 kingdoms in Kumandra, which each sends one person to save their world. Lastly, in many traditions, numbers also have a symbolic quality, with the number often symbolizing balance, mankind, health, and love. Number 5. The Success Sacrifice. In both movies too, our protagonists end up sacrificing themselves or temporarily dying as they reach the end of their quest. For Raya, she's the first in her group to give her piece of the dragon gem to Namaari and trust in her as Sisu wanted her. Without the gem's protection, the Droon turns Raya to stone, similar to how Elsa froze entirely when she dove too deep into Antha Holland's memories. And in the first Frozen movie, Anna turned to ice as well, when she sacrificed herself to save Elsa from the evil Hans. Number 4. The Kiss of Life. Neither of the protagonists stays dead. Raya comes back to life after Namaari puts the dragon gem back together, which releases the power of the dragons on the Droon, while in Frozen, Elsa is unfrozen when Anna lifts the curse from the enchanted forest by destroying the Arendelian dam. Number 3. Treachery, Betrayal, Trust. Another thematic resemblance between Raya and the Last Dragon and Frozen is how human disharmony and deceit triggers a kind of natural or mystical antagonist, which is something Disney has explored in other recent films like Moana, in contrast to more controversial animated villains such as Maleficent and Cruella de Vil. When Namaari betrays Raya's trust to try and steal the dragon gem for the Fang people, it causes all of Kumandra's kingdoms to fight each other, and when they end up breaking the gem, it awakens the Droon, who now poses an existential threat to all of Kumandra. Likewise in Frozen, it was King Rugnar's betrayal of and attack on the Northudra, which angered the spirits who then cursed the enchanted forest, entrapping everyone. An especially interesting detail about both movies is that one time Disney originally had much darker endings planned for both of them. More about that in a few. In Raya and the Last Dragon, Sisu dies when Namaari betrays Raya again, and the subsequent confrontation goes wrong. In an interview with Polygon, the filmmakers explained that Sisu dying was always part of the original plan, so that Raya would learn that the dragon wasn't somebody who would magically rescue Kumandra and the Droon, and that instead she and the others would have to learn to trust one another in order to defeat them, just like Sisu and the other dragons had done years before. Number 2. Darker Endings. In the final film, Sisu is resurrected later on together with all of her dragon siblings. However, there was a version of the movie where Sisu remained dead after the rain fell, meaning Sisu was literally the last dragon. As one of the film producers pointed out, if humans are the solution, why are we bringing the magical mystical creatures back? In the end though, the filmmakers wanted to go with a happy ending and a big Disney moment that makes your heart sing, and so Sisu and the dragons came back. Now, depending on your viewpoint, the original ending might have been more outstanding, as it would have solidified the sacrifice the dragons made for Kumandra and the consequences of the human discord and strife. Likewise, Frozen almost had a darker ending as well, where Arendelle Castle was destroyed by the flood because Elsa wasn't there to stop the wave, making the consequences of King Rugnar's betrayal of the Northruda more impactful. The original scene of the aftermath also shows how Anna planned to use the destruction as an opportunity for renewal in the kingdom. Number 1. The Diamond Patterns. Another notable detail is the diamond pattern on the walls of the Heartland Palace, which reminds me of the diamonds that suddenly appeared over Arendelle during Into the Unknown. This could be a Frozen Easter egg, or it could be a likely reference to the diamond motifs you can see on Fang's jewelry, as such as those on Chief Varana's earring and neck ring. Given we see these diamond patterns just as Raya is confiding in Namaari and is about to take her to see the dragon gem, it might be a clue to the imminent Fang betrayal. And that's it. That's all for now. While you are here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!